Now look, there's a very, very real chance if you're watching my videos, be this your first time or you're a repeat viewer, that if you go to your home screen or you go to the recommended bar, whatever it's called down the side, there's going to be videos from a dude named Alex Hormozi, all right? His channel has been blowing up in the last few months, last 12 months, and in particular off the back of this book that he's written. I've done a previous video where I review the book and I give my thoughts on it as someone who haven't sold as much as Alex online, but I've done pretty well relative to the majority of people that try and sell information-based products, learning-based products online, have built a 7-figure business, and naturally this book jumped out to me. It's about offer creation. It's a field that in particular I am very, very interested in and actually help people with. And so naturally Alex kind of came onto my radar, and I watch his videos from time to time, and it's a fantastic book. But what interests me more about his channel and about what he's doing with his brand is the marketing angle that he's using. Okay, and if you haven't seen any of his stuff, he sold a bunch of businesses, made $100 million, and now he's building a personal brand, basically as a front for his, quasi private equity company on the back end that's called acquisition.com. And in order to rapidly grow his social media presence in a very, 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 very smart way, he's doing what the great Dan Kennedy tells people to do, right? And if you don't know Dan Kennedy and you're in marketing, 1, shame on you, and 2, go and buy all of his books on Amazon. Alex is a student of Dan's as well, right? I'm not sure if he is directly, but he references him a bit on his channel. And what he's doing in the start of every video, if you haven't seen it, is he says, I have nothing to sell you, right? And the reason this is really, really smart is because he's basically doing the opposite of what the significant majority of people in the space are doing. And that's the Dan Kennedy tactic. But what I want to talk about is it's really interesting when you see the comments and stuff like that, and you see people's reaction to it. And you see them talking about the fact that he doesn't sell anything. And you see them talking about the fact that it's all free and all that kind of stuff. And I think what a lot of people are missing is that he does in fact have something to sell. It's just that for 99.9% of the people who are actually watching his videos, you're just not in his target audience. Right? But he very, very much so has something to sell and is selling through his YouTube channel. He's just not doing it directly, right? There's a reason he wears his acquisition.com hat in every video. There's a reason that he says, I'm the CEO of acquisition.com, and says we help companies from 3 million to 10 million to grow and exit at whatever multiple. He is absolutely selling. He's just not selling to the majority of people who watch his channel in a traditional way. And what he's doing in a very, very clever way is leveraging the fact that he's not selling directly to that target audience, the majority of them anyway, right? The significant majority, to buck the industry trend and do the opposite, right? Which is why he's blowing up. In addition to the fact that he creates very, 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 very valuable content. But what I want to highlight, because I think there's a lot of people missing it, more of the marketers might see this, but I think there's a lot of people that miss this fact too, is that he is definitely selling. He's just not selling to you in the traditional sense because you probably aren't in his target audience. But his content is in a very real way produced to pull his ideal target market towards him, right? Which is the entire reason we all create content. He's just selling at a different level, right? He's selling at a different level to the significant majority of people. So that's not to be missed, right? And there's a couple of brilliant lessons in it, right? The first one being the Dan Kennedy factor that I mentioned, which is bucking the trend and doing the opposite of what the majority of people do, right? Which is they monetize their audience more directly through products and services, whereas what Alex is doing is he's taking a piece of the pie and monetizing it on the back end, right? He's doing the opposite of the people that he learned from. He was in Russell Brunson's mastermind, right? Obviously, Russell is a master of selling courses, coaching, SaaS, events. He's made, squillions doing that. But what I want people who are earlier on to realize is, be it Alex or be it any person on YouTube that you look up to, you shouldn't just look at them and go, I want to model exactly what they're doing, right? You shouldn't just look at them and go, if that's the way Alex is doing it, that's the way I have to do it. Or if that's the way Russell's doing it, that's the way I have to do it. Or if that's the way Gary Vee's doing it, Grant Cardone's doing it, whoever you follow, right? It's not about looking at what they're doing right now and saying that's what I need to do. Because these people that you are listening to, right, and myself included to a degree, obviously I'm nowhere near the level of those guys, but in terms of a lot of people that watch my channel, I'm a lot further along as well. You need to think about what they've gone through in order to get to the point where they're now delivering this message. So it's totally cool for Alex, for an example, to create content and say, I have nothing to sell you, because the guy's one, worth $100 million, and two, has a back end structured in a way that he doesn't need to directly sell products and services, but because of the journey that he has been on, he now has the skill set to sell with that opportunity vehicle. There's a pretty real chance that the majority of people don't have that skill set and don't have the financial backing or security in order to sit and create something for free for the number of years and years and years and years and years and years and years that it would take in order to get any traction. So if you're looking at people like this who are delivering a certain message like, I have nothing to sell you, one, realize that there's probably something deeper going on that maybe, isn't, just what you see, right? Like I explained with, how they monetize on the back end with performance. And two, understand that that's not how they got where they are now, right? Alex, for example, massive on sales, right? He's got videos about sales in the gym space and the other things he's done. Sold like crazy, right? It's just that now for the current venture, that marketing angle is the strongest possible approach to grow his audience as big as possible so that he can pull out the people that are now in his target market for his new business, which he explicitly states at the start of a lot of videos, okay? So what you need to reflect on is where you are now. What do you have behind you financially and in terms of skills, and what do you want to achieve, and make the decision for yourself. It may be that you want to grow a channel as big as possible, you want to grow a Facebook group as big as possible, or you want to do whatever in terms of growth metrics like subscribers and followers and likes and engagement. That's totally cool, right? But if your goal is to grow a business that sells products and services, it's totally okay to do that, right? I find this a really, really interesting point, and it comes down to what is the right marketing hook for what you are ultimately trying to achieve right now, right? If you check out the first link in the description of my video, I, over the last few years, have built up an information business, and at the center of that is writing content every single day. So that's part of our hook. That's part of our market value proposition, whatever you want to call it, right? And it's going to change and it's going to evolve, as it has for all of these people, right? They've gone from one thing to another thing to another thing to another thing. And what they're doing through each of those ventures is they're compounding their skill sets, they're compounding their assets, and are consistently leveling up what they're trying to achieve. So take the advice, absolutely, take the value, all that kind of stuff, but don't just blindly look at what other people are doing and say, I really resonate with that person, so I'm going to do the same thing. Because they're probably 5, 10, 15 years ahead of you and in a very, very different financial position. And just remember, there's always a marketing angle, okay? That's the point of this video. I think what Alex is doing with his channel is brilliant. From a marketing perspective, there is a lot we can learn from it, but I just wanted to add my 2 cents because I think, especially for people who are early on, it's important to realize that you don't just look at people and say, I want to do the same thing. You can absorb the value, you can absorb the content, but you got to work out the best path for yourself, okay? Hopefully you took something out of that, and you can use it to craft your own path, craft your own message, figure out what value you can bring to the market, figure out if selling products and services on the front end is right for you or not. It may be, it may not be, but you need to work that out for yourself. All right. If you like that, subscribe to the channel, check out the link in the description. You can join my Facebook group, all that kind of good stuff if you want to get into the info product game, be that as an affiliate or selling your own. We've got opportunities for folks across both those categories. But with that out of the way, I'll see you all in the next video. Subscribe, like, all that kind of good stuff, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.